Number 10. Russell's Death. Deep Blue Sea.
And these sharks, they aren't just breaking down doors for the sheer joy of it, are they? They're after us.
Just edging into the decade is Rennie Harlin's Deep Blue Sea, a movie about genetically engineered sharks who hunt humans in an underwater research facility. The movie is widely known for the death scene involving Samuel L. Jackson's Russell Franklin. In the midst of a motivational speech, Russell is gobbled whole by a shark, but the moment is completely ruined by some truly shaky CGI.
First, we're gonna seal off this.
Not only does the shark look bad, but Russell's body lacks any semblance of humanity because it looks like it was rendered with PlayStation 2 graphics. Then again, maybe that's all part of its B-movie charm.
It's pretty scary stuff, huh?
Yes, it is.
Number 9. Plane Crash. Air Force One.
Blue Star, Air Force One is down. I repeat, Air Force One is down.
We know CGI couldn't be consistently good throughout the 90s. However, scenes in movies like Air Force One are still tough to revisit. Starring Harrison Ford and working with a budget of $85 million, this film was prime summer blockbuster material. But the very well-made movie couldn't soar over its terrible CGI. When Air Force One crashes into the ocean, the entire scene becomes laughable. The plane looks horrifically fake. Additionally, its crashing physics are completely out of whack, and the spray from the water simply looks like white digital fog. For a movie with this kind of budget, we expected a lot better. Even for 1997, this was a special kind of bad.
Drop it.
Washington Post.
Drop it. Do yourself a favor. It's policy. Drop it or find yourself another ride home.
Number 8. The Monkeys. Jumanji.
This will not be an easy mission. Monkeys slow the expedition.
This movie seemed a lot scarier when we were children. Maybe our amazed minds just ignored the lackluster CGI. The digital effects were done by Industrial Light and Magic, and they were actually quite cutting edge at the time. Things like realistic facial expressions and digital hair were big leaps forward. But alas, even good 90s CGI is still bad CGI.
Do not begin unless you intend to finish. The exciting consequences of the game will vanish only when a player has reached Jumanji and called out its name. The monkeys are gone.
The monkeys are hardly detailed enough for the hair to be noticeable, and they are so poorly lit that they clash with their surroundings. For a movie containing great practical effects, the CG monkeys really stand out.
Get out of there! Ah, 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 ah! Ooh. Monkeys!
Number 7. Jaba the Hut. Star Wars Special Edition.
Right here, Jabba. Been waiting for you.
For the 20th anniversary of Star Wars, George Lucas worked with Industrial Light and Magic to bring his original vision to life. To that end, he added a scene between Han Solo and Jaba the Hutt. Lucas intended to include this scene with a stop-motion creature in the original release, but budget constraints prevented him from doing so. However, it probably should have remained on the cutting room floor.
Look, Jabba, next time you want to talk to me, come see me yourself. Don't send one of these twerps.
Jabba looks far less detailed than his Return of the Jedi counterpart. On top of that, his flatness doesn't work at all next to the very human Harrison Ford. Jabba doesn't occupy a physical space, he's just sort of floating along in the scene. Within seconds, it's obvious that Ford is working with a stand-in.
Look, Jabba, even I get bored sometimes. You think I had a choice?
Number 6. Michael Myers' Mask. Halloween H2O. 20 years later.
Michael Myers.
Right. Hey, you don't think Michael Myers?
I never found his body.
Yeah, but that was like 20 years ago.
The original Michael mask was bought at a Hollywood costume store for $2. Ironically, they probably spent at least 1,000 times that price to make this H2O mask, but it looks a million times sillier. In one scene, young Charlie Devereaux turns around and comes face to face with a digital Michael Myers that's wearing the signature mask.
Hi.
It looks utterly ridiculous and is devoid of any detail whatsoever. Honestly, it resembles a white sheet plastered over the actor's face. The story goes that they filmed this scene with a practical mask, but test audiences hated how it looked, so they quickly added this one in post. Surely the original mask was better than this.
Blank, pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes. The devil's eyes.
Number 5. Blarp, Lost in Space.
Blarp? Blarp? That's what we'll call you.
This adaptation of the 60s television show received a largely negative reception. The dreadful CGI certainly didn't do it any favors. While the visual effects in general look pretty shoddy, none are as bad as Blarp. There are many issues with this alien. Poor lighting, an ugly design, and downright awful interactions with the human actors all make it an abomination.
Do yourself a favor. Don't evolve.
Although Blarp was originally going to be a practical puppet, it was deemed too unrealistic. This led to a shoddy CGI replacement. We think the crew underestimated how awful Blarp would look when he was brought to life with these effects.
Get this in front of me!
Here.
Number 4. Malola Spawn.
This is the bargain. If you lead my army, you can see Wanda again. What is your answer?
There's a certain soft spot for Spawn in the hearts of 90s kids. You know, aside from Malola, watching his true form is a hellish experience. No pun intended. During the climax, Spawn and his ally, Cogliostro, end up in hell. It's here that they are confronted by the massive demon, Malola. Unfortunately, all tension is sucked out of the scene owing to the ghastly visual effects. The green screen work, the unrealistic graphics, the army of cut-and-paste soldiers, and the CGI Malola are all hilariously horrendous.
Bring me Spawn's head.
There's no way an audience can be expected to take anything that occurs in this hellscape seriously. Thanks to bad effects, an otherwise interesting climax became a source of utter embarrassment.
If you won't lead my army, then you must die.
Number 3. The Tidal Wave, Escape from L.A.
That Snake Plissken?
What'd you expect?
I don't know, he just looks so retro. Kind of 20th century.
Escape from New York is a cult classic that won people over with an interesting premise and some solid filmmaking. But its years too late sequel bombed and was quickly forgotten. Although John Carpenter thought ditching the practical effects of the original in favor of CGI would be best, that ultimately wasn't a good decision. A big submarine sequence that occurs in the film is almost painful to watch. However, it has nothing on the infamous surfing scene.
Don't blow it. If you fall off the board, it's the big white eye. Got it?
Not only is the concept and accompanying music silly, but the digital wave is appalling. It looks especially bad when sharing the screen with Steve Buscemi's car. The bad elements all combine into a laughable concoction that tarnishes the legacy of the original.
Gotta be kidding.
Number 2. The Langoliers. The Langoliers.
I want to know what is going on here, and I want to know right now.
This miniseries is based on Stephen King's novella of the same name. It also served as further evidence that the mid-1990s and cheap TV productions just did not mix well. At the end of the story, giant monsters called Langoliers appear and literally devour the past with their horribly rendered teeth. These things look truly abysmal, both in physical design and execution. The concept of monsters literally eating the fabric of space-time is terrific fun, but it's let down by some inept CGI that renders the climax more shameful than exciting. How this got approved for air, we have no idea.
Waits for them. The timekeepers of eternity. Always following behind. Cleaning up the mess in the most efficient way possible.
Number 1. The Animalities. Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Pretty cool, huh? It's my animality.
We don't even know where to begin with Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Not only was it a major disappointment following the surprisingly solid first film, but it contains some of the worst visual effects in movie history. The terrible CGI reaches a new low when the heroic Liu Kang and villainous Shao Kahn use their animality forms.
I can feel
Their already silly transformations are brought to life with unspeakably poor CGI. At the time of this movie's release in 1997, we genuinely believed there were video games that had better graphics than this. And to think this is the end result of a $30 million budget. Anyone who watched these beastly special effects has every right to make fun of them.
Father, how can this be?
I warned you there would be consequences for breaking the sacred rules.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.